Is Bill Belichick going to be coaching the Patriots next year? There you go, nitty-gritty.
Honestly, I don't know. I honestly believe that 3 people probably know, and that would be probably Bill, Jonathan, and RKK. And, with the whole situation, I just hope it's handled correctly. Whether, they make a decision to part ways or if they make a decision to stay together, regardless. Both men have been such pivotal parts of the success that we've had here in New England, and you can include Tom. I'm not saying Tom's not in there either, but everyone has been part of the reason of going out and having the success that we did. So you just hope that the situation's handled correctly, and yeah.
Given what's been happening with the season, with the team, can you maybe feel a little bit for the players too, to kind of been involved in this storm?
Yeah, you definitely feel for the players because I know firsthand that these guys are working their tails off and they're not getting the results. That's tough, and I've never experienced that. I've been blessed and fortunate enough where, when you work hard, good things were always coming. With the teams that we had. So yeah, you feel bad for the players, but this is the National Football League. It's a tough business. It's a production business. So, you gotta go out and produce.
Can you see him after all these years in New England coaching for another team?
Oh, you gotta get a quarterback. Okay, let's not kick around the bush. This. If you look at this whole thing, this is a product of missing on a first-round draft pick, quarterback. Okay, and Mac, it's been a tough situation for him. I feel terrible, but this is a production business, like we said. Okay, you go out there to produce. Yeah, the situations have been tough on them with the whole scenario that they did last year, but they got to address the quarterback position.
Thank you. We're going to go to BBC next.
Thank you.
No problem. When you play in Boston for a long time, you know your way around a bar. Let's just say that.
Experience. All right, there we go. All right, so straight through it, man. So what has this experience been like? I hear you every week getting asked about the Belichick experience. What has this experience been like for you? Just talking about your boss and his fate.
Yeah, it's honestly awkward. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at this, it's just something you're so not accustomed to seeing with the lack of success that they've had this year, and it is what it is. So it's been weird.
What do you make of just kind of how it has unfolded here this season, coming up on the last 3 games?
What do you mean? What do I make?
Just of kind of just this dynamic of, is he gone? Is he going to be fired?
I honestly, I'm not even. Right now, you don't think about that. Like, I'm still in football mode. I'm still thinking about what I got to do for my job, which is, I'm on Fox kickoff, and you're thinking about the other teams, and yeah, you always have a little extra eye for what Pat's talk is, but. Honestly, I haven't even been thinking about them. They're not relevant right now. So it's been tough, and the guys are working their tails off behind the scenes and at the facility, and it's unfortunate, But this is the National Football League. Like, if you change 10 plays,
mm-hmm.
it could be a completely different season. But that's how close the line is from failure to success in this league.
The fact that they are, 3-11, but still battling, going out there, did what they did.
No, you definitely see that they're still putting effort out there. It wasn't anything like you watched that Chargers game. That was disgusting. But yeah, it's they're still working their tails off. They're still going out and they're competing. They're putting their best effort in. So, They got to regroup the troops, and they're going to have to address a lot of things in the off season. So that'll be the real story, is what they're going to do.
how does this play out with Belichick, though? Is he?
I don't know. I'm not making calls here. I mean, am I RKK? No. I mean, we'll see. It looks like Coach is still going out and he's competing, and he's still getting the team going. I mean, if you looked at last week against the Chiefs, I mean, they started that game hot, and then they fell off. They ran out of gas with the offense, and you look at the defense. They're still playing very, very good football. I mean, you can say what you want to say. Anytime you're a defense and you have to, deal with turnovers from the offensive side of the ball, that's tough. And they're still putting up good numbers. So, you sit and you tip your hat to the boys that are going out and they're competing their tails off. But yeah, we'll see what happens in the offseason.
Could you still see him as a Patriot come next year? Or?
Who?
Belichick.
I mean, right now with the mayhem, what's going on with all this talk, I don't know. Would it surprise me if he's there? No. Would it surprise me if he's gone? No. I mean, this is a National Football League, okay? And I specifically remember, one time when Bill was talking to the team, he goes, there's going to be a time where the media changes on me, and all of a sudden they're going to want to cut my head off. And this was in when we were Hair Day. So, he's prepared for this, and he knows what's going on. But, I believe he's compartmentalizing and trying to go out and just get wins.
Great.
Well,
All right, we're going to do DC.
So you talking with the Kelce brothers? Any chance you maybe grace the presence with Taylor Swift or so?
Probably not. I think Trav's got a lock on that, and I'm in a different world. There's different worlds. They're in a different world. I'm in a different world. So absolutely no.
A lot of eyes on the last Sunday game. So, and then I guess my last question.
She was here, right? She was
yeah.
in Foxborough.
Yeah.
I mean, she's performed at the goddamn stadium so much. I specifically remember Bill talking about her mental toughness of going out and performing in the rain. Didn't she do that one time?
Yes.
Can you give us a reenactment? I know you're good at impressions.
Nah, I'm terrible at impressions. Just
with
put your
Bill?
fucking shit on and let's go. Okay, put that on the radio.
Yeah, I'll have to put in a couple of bleep, yeah. So, yeah, I guess that was my last question is all these Belichick impressions. You're probably tired of them, but how about Bill ordering this drink at the bar?
Look, just give me a tequila. That's all he would say. I mean, that's all you get from Bill. You don't get that much.
Gets the job done.
And honestly, I'm terrified because when I impersonate him, he sees it, I think. Because anytime I see him, all he says is, God damn it, Edelman, do I gotta see you impersonating me every fucking 2 minutes? And sorry for the language. You can bleep those, but yeah, that's...
Now he's got to hear it, too.
Now he's got to hear it. Yeah.
All right, appreciate
All right,
it.
Rook.
Thank you.
Thank you.
They're out of sync right now, and that's a product of missing on a first-round quarterback. I don't want to beat what is it? Beat a dead horse? Yeah, you don't want to beat a dead horse, but this is what it looks like. Okay, and yeah, the situation has been very tough for the quarterback position. You look at last year and what they did, that was crazy, but if you're a player, you make plays.
Belichick's a critical guy, right? It's how he's gotten to where he's at. How do you feel Bill evaluates the job he's done these last 4 years?
I mean, look, Bill's a tough critic, and I'm sure he can go out and sit there and self-scout and look at the things he's done wrong. But there's a lot of great things that he's done right. I mean, we all forget to talk about all the great defensive players and how the defense is playing. He's a defensive-minded coach. That's his forte. And, we also can't forget that he's drafted, the best quarterback of all time. He drafted the best tight end of all time. He drafted
The best slot receiver of all time?
I don't know. There's a
There
lot
was
of
a
good slots.
quarterback in college.
There's a lot of good slots out there, but he's drafted a lot of good players, and it's been tough these last 6 years, 7 years on the offensive side of the ball. But You know, Bill's an accountable guy, and I don't want to speak for him. You know, I'll let him do that himself. But yeah, it's been fun. It's been tough.
Two more
I almost
questions.
dropped an F-bomb.
Two more, if that's possible. Thank you. Appreciate the time here, guys.
Yeah. You can't fire the best coach of all time. I mean, and I might be biased.
Coming
but
off a 4-13 season, you can't do it.
look at the defense. Okay,
What about the offense?
offense has been terrible. Okay,
What about the quarterback?
The quarterback position has been struggling.
What about some of the coaching decisions?
Coaching decisions, we got to look at those but like, yeah, it'd be tough for me to get rid of, like, who are you going to bring in to be better than Bill Belichick?
talk about Gerard
Like,
Mayo.
we can go talk about, Gerard, a new voice, that'd be very nice, and I'm a big Gerard fan. But, you know, everyone thinks the grass is always greener. Like, you go out and get a coordinator and go do this. Like, all right, go down that road. We'll see how it goes.
We have to ask about Taylor Swift. What did you think about her appearance at Gillette yesterday?
I thought it was spectacular. It was so amazing to see Taylor Swift at Foxborough again. No, you know what? Honestly, on a real take on this whole thing, like, it's great for the league. You know, Taylor Swift is bringing so many different kind of fans that don't usually follow football to watch football. So as a person that represented the Shield, National Football League, it's pretty cool, you know, because you're making our sport more popular, and she definitely does. I mean, we all seen the bumps, you know, the Taylor bump, you know, and that's a great thing because I love this game.
Are you a Swiftie?
Oh, of course. I mean, I took my daughter to the concert. I got the best friend bracelets. You know, when you have a 7-year-old, you have no choice. But I'm definitely, like, been listening to Taylor Swift for 20 years. How long has she been out? 20 years? Damn near. I mean, since at least 15.
And then last question. What's your favorite song by her?
It's a love story. What was that? Romeo and Juliet? That one? I like that one. Romeo, take me where I can be. I love that song.
So much.
And then what's the new one? There's a new one my daughter loves. Know all the places. That one, you know what I'm talking about? Is it Know the Places?
Yeah.
We listen to it like 40 times every morning, so we have a commute. I live in LA, okay? LA is a dump. Okay, let's not. LA is crazy. There's great things about LA, but when you come back to Boston, there's like a town vibe where it's you feel part of the neighborhood. It's clean. You feel like you're in a different country. Like, that's the one thing. When I came here for the first time, I was a California kid, and the architectural structure, you felt like you were in London. Cobblestone streets and the Beacon Hill and some of the back, like, there's a great like youthful energy because of all the colleges. I mean, it's a great place to live. I love and miss Boston to death. Like, this, when I come here, I feel like I'm coming home.
Oh, we love that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Do you still have
It's honestly nuts. Like, I go back to LA and I'm like, this ain't, you know, and then I come here and I'm like, I got my you know.
I love it. And I just wanted to hear your take on Taylor's omnipresence in the NFL season.
Yeah, that's a whole different beast if you're in a relationship with Taylor Swift. Like, when you play in National Football League, you know, it's a full-time job.
Right.
You know, your mind has to be in the game, and to see how Travis has compartmentalized the whole situation and still been able to perform is impressive. You know, yeah, he went to Argentina on a bye week and they lost after. But
Did they lose? I think
didn't they lose that week after the Argentina game?
I think they won.
Nah.
Against the Eagles? I forget. You would know better.
I don't know. I'm an analyst. I don't know. No, but it's certainly so tough. I mean, I've been in relationships with people where, like, no, I can't go to France for lunch. You know, it's September. I mean, September through February is straight football. and you really have to be with someone that understands that, and it has to be a reciprocal kind of thing where you put your work in and work in the relationship, and when it's not football time. So it's been really cool to see how Travis has been able to handle it. I mean, he's been doing it pretty well.
And you think it's cool for the league, you said?
Oh, I think it's amazing. I mean, this is great for the league. Anytime you make our sport more popular, it's kudos. You're getting a lot of people that don't watch our game, and now they're watching our game.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. It's always a positive for more eyeballs.
For sure.
I think it's just honestly the guests. It gives us, we go in and we talk about these historic games that we all talk about as fans, with people that are in the game or celebrities that are super fanatic of the game. But it's honestly the people that come in. It gives us an excuse to talk not just about sport, but about everything. Whatever comes up. We have a segment where we go back into time of when the game took place, and we go over the social, if there was social at that time, or we go over pop culture, which I love that stuff, because it brings you down, like memory lane when you were a kid of certain things. So it's been really cool to be able to explore and talk to a bunch of cool people. We just did Kel. We had Mark Cuban, Gronk's first episode. I mean, anytime you get to sit and talk with Gronk, I mean, it's so natural. It's so easy because it's one of the boys, and we literally just try to mock it off of how we would talk in a locker room when we're just talking. And a lot of times we have no merit or anything of what we're talking about, and we just go down a terrible rabbit hole of absolutely nothing. And I hope the fans like it, but it's just people talking.
That's awesome.
Having fun.
That's fun. Is it important to you to be a Jewish public figure? And how do you approach sort of representing that side of yourself?
Yeah, it is very important. I mean, it's part of my heritage. It's part of who I am. And how I portray it, I mean, I don't like to go out and be annoying with it, but I definitely let people know what I support. And if you know me, you know through what I do and how I talk that I support that, the causes of the Jewish people. So, it's one of those things where right now it's a sensitive time. It's a very tough situation in so many different facets of what's going on right now. And, it's just, it's a sad moment right now. It's a very sad moment, and to be a Jew right now, it's kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie, and especially being a public Jew. I'm a public Jew, and I everyone knows, and it's like it's some real 1930s shit going on. You know what I mean, with anti-Semitism and how people are talking and how people are ignoring and how people just want to push to the side. So I don't like to get into it too much. But yeah, it's a very sad time, and it's not just for the Jewish people, it's for the Palestinian people as well. I mean, this is a terrible moment. War is terrible. Any facet of that, it's hard. So, it's a tough situation, and it's hard to, even talk about it.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's so tough when you're a professional athlete with the sacrifices and that you put on not just your family, your friends, and everything that's going on, because you're like a mercenary. You're at work, and everything in your mindset is literally about what you're trying to do on the field. And it's been a cool transition to be able to get out of that mindset and really, be able to give back to your family and your friends and give time. That's the one thing that people don't realize. Like, that's all we have on this earth is time. and how you're going to deal with it. You know, and for a long part of my time in my life, I put that to sport, you know, and now it's been cool to be able to give back to my family.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
One more
Start
question.
crying. Jesus.
That's awesome. I really appreciate it.
She gave me some hard hitters.